I'd like to talk to you today about rhododendrons, which is the reason that many people garden. And as we can see here from these magnificent blooms, it's easy to understand why. This is an example of a rhododendron in an almost perfect setting. It has exposure to good light, but still protection from the winter winds. It has, you don't know that there's a cistern right next to it. It's got a good source of moisture. And the other thing about rhododendrons, you can't really tell from looking, but they need a heavily acid soil. We acidify this soil every spring. They need a soil with a pH of 4.5. The other thing you need to know about when caring for rhododendrons is they have a very shallow root system, very close to the surface. So when you're planting it, do not dig a deep hole. Some gardeners just put the rhododendron on the surface, cover it up with compost, and call it planted. So if you follow those guidelines, you're going to have healthy rhododendrons, and if you put it in a site like this, it's going to be very happy. This is an example of a rhododendron planted in not quite as an ideal spot. It's too big of a variety, it's too close to the house, and it's planted in soil that is a little too dry and drains too well, believe it or not. The other thing about this rhododendron that makes it suffer a little is that it is planted a little bit beyond the corner of the house, and so that it is exposed to the northwest winds in the winter. The result of that is you can see some winter burn on these leaves. These brown spots are really leaves that are dying. Now, I have to prune this rhododendron because it's too large to get it away from the windows. What I could do is transplant it, because as I said earlier, it has a shallow root system, and I could replace it with a rhododendron that doesn't get quite so big. So you really shouldn't prune rhododendrons because they have such a natural, lovely shape on their own that it's really best to make sure you're planting the cultivar that's the right size in the right place. Rhododendrons can grace your garden and your yard for many years, giving you lots of pleasure and a lot of beauty, if you remember just a couple of things. I think one of the most important things is putting the right variety in the right place. Make sure it's protected from the winter winds. Make sure it gets enough moisture during the growing season, and keep the soil acid. If you remember these few simple tips, you're going to have very good luck growing your rhododendrons.
A copy of the program you've just seen can be purchased through Penn State Media Sales at mediasales.psu.edu or by calling 800-770-2111.